The Packers have to take this guy and turn him into the player who can make the difference. Here's head coach Matt LaFleur and GM Brian Gutekunst on the trade that brought Micah to Green Bay.
I don't think there's much that he can't do. It's just how do you get him acclimated to what we're doing, and then you can kind of let the creativity come out. I think I got a lot of confidence in our defensive staff that we'll be able to put him in positions to maximize not only his ability but everybody around him. I just know from having a game plan against him, that is something that keeps you up at night when you're going against a player of his caliber. And now we feel like we've got a lot of other pieces around him that it's going to be that much more challenging for our opponents.
You guys know how we feel about picks here and how important they are to our football team. So to make this move, certainly you can understand what we think about the player and how he's going to affect our football team. Yeah, I mean, you know, again, those drafts are a little bit of ways. Who knows what can happen between now and then, and where we'll sit with picks and whether we're picking on Thursday or whether we're not. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of conversation about whether this was the right thing to do as far as giving up those picks, only because we covet them so much. But again, there's just not very many opportunities to acquire a player like this.
It just says it all. It says it all. And LaFleur talking about being kept up at night, worrying about Micah Parsons, that says it all too. And, you know, you're not going to find a Micah Parsons or a player who makes that impact late in round one, which is where the 2 picks are coming from that the Packers will send to the Cowboys. Jason Garrett explained this very well, too, on Friday. You break the huddle, you got to know where Parsons is. You got to have a plan on every single play for extra resources to keep Parsons from destroying the play, whether it's the center, whether it's the tight end, whatever it is. You've got to have the shift of protection, slide it over toward him. Whatever it is, you have to have that plan. He's the centerpiece of your game plan when you're getting ready to play the Cowboys. And now he's going to be the centerpiece of the game plan when you're getting ready to play the Packers. And he's going to keep people up at night. And he's going to keep Brian Schottenheimer and the Cowboys up at night because, again, 3 weeks and 5 days. Packers at the Cowboys. Are you kidding me? This makes the season even more exciting, Chris, because the Cowboys are always going to draw attention no matter who's on the team. They could have North Carolina's players, and they would still draw attention. But you take Micah Parsons and you put him on a team that isn't in that short list of the elites right now in the NFL, and you thrust the Packers into that conversation, it just makes everything a hell of a lot more interesting.
Definitely. Green Bay, I mean, they're one of the biggest franchises in all of football, and then when you add a player like this, it just adds to their mystique and their aura and everything about them. So yeah, I'm with you. I mean, it's going to make the season awesome. And yeah, I don't know, Brian Gutekunst, they can't be more transparent. They're a team, like he said, they draft and develop. They've done a phenomenal job that way. You look at their football team, it's almost everybody on there is draft and develop. It's incredible. They hold those picks in high regard, but not so highly that they go, wait, Lawrence Taylor's wearing 11 30 years later? Okay, we'll trade for him. I mean, yeah, they see it. Everybody does. It goes beyond like what you were talking about with Jason Garrett of like we break the huddle. We got to make sure the whole week leading up to it has to be Micah Parsons has to be taken into account. You have to think about, wait, when we get in this formation, what are we going to be able to do to block him on this side? Wait, we have to get in this formation because here, then now we got extra people to help him. He limits things you can do on the offensive side of the ball. He's going to make you rethink some of the bread and butter things you do on your offense and go, can we get away with that, right, with just doing it the way we've been doing it the previous 4 or 5 weeks? I don't know if we can. We might have to tweak a few things. We might not be able to run the ball this way or that way. We might have to, adjust formations and come up with a different few schemes that we don't necessarily love in the running game or in pass protection. But he can ruin the game, so we got to watch out for that. That's the beauty of Micah Parsons. So it's like every night of the week he's on your mind, let alone when you break the huddle as a quarterback, you got to know where the hell he is.
And the other thing encouraging about this, if you're a Packers fan, new team president Ed Policy didn't pump the brakes.
Right.
Willing to spend a little of his fresh political equity to take a chance, because it could go who knows? We don't know what's going to happen. It could go sideways for the Packers, and then it's on Ed Policy's permanent record, and he's got an issue that he's got to deal with. That's been one of my criticisms of the Packers. When you don't have that one owner who can roll out of bed and make decisions, sometimes you're a little too slow to make a big decision. Sometimes you don't have that one person that is willing to stand up and say, let's do this. You got a bunch of people who are looking at each other saying, who's the one that's going to put his or her job on the line by standing up saying, let's do this. So Ed Policy ultimately let them do what they wanted to do, and now the Packers are likely going to be better for it. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.